Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into the thought-provoking world of the Order of Time. Authored by acclaimed theoretical physicist Carlo Rovelli, this enlightening work, published in 2017, challenges our conventional understanding of time as a linear progression from past to present to future. Rovelli invites readers to consider time in a far more complex and fascinating light, as he unveils the latest findings in physics that suggest time's fluidity is more an illusion fabricated by our perceptions rather than an absolute state of the universe. Renowned for his work in the physics of space and time, Rovelli leads the quantum gravity research group at the Centre de Physique Théorique in Marseille, France. He boasts a repertoire of influential books, including Reality is Not What It Seems and 7 Brief Lessons on Physics, both of which solidify his reputation for making profound scientific concepts accessible to a broader audience. The Order of Time is a must-read for science enthusiasts, physicists, and philosophers alike. It beckons the curiosity of anyone captivated by the mysteries of our world, and it serves as an intellectual treasure for those who endeavor to unravel the enigmatic nature of time. Join us as we explore the world beyond the ticking clock and step into a realm where time is revealed to be far from what it seems. The Order of Time, a trip through time with a leading theoretical physicist. Introduction: the mystifying illusion of time through a physicist's lens. Imagine for a moment the table in front of you, simple, solid, dependable. But through the eyes of a physicist like Carlo Rovelli, that same table is a shifting, uncertain entity where matter cohabits with mystery, existing simultaneously in more than one place. Welcome to the realm of theoretical physics, where the curtain is pulled back on time itself, turning our everyday understanding on its head. Carlo Rovelli, an illustrious theoretical physicist, takes us on a journey far beyond the tick of a clock. This is not just a tale of seconds and minutes, but a narrative that questions the very fabric of time. Rovelli beckons us into a world where time dilates and contracts, where the flow of moments is anything but steady. Discover Einstein's revolutionary vision of space-time. As we delve into the intricacies of time, we meet the monumental figure of Albert Einstein. His theory of relativity upended centuries of thinking, revealing that time is not a constant force marching forward, but a fluid dimension intertwined with the very weave of space itself. Learn how gravity can cause time to slow, making a second on a mountaintop shorter than a second at sea level, and start to see time as Einstein did, relative, not absolute. Embark on an exploration of time's impact on humanity. But why ponder such bewildering concepts? Because, as Rovelli shows, our understanding of time is central to our human identity. It shapes our civilizations, crafting the narrative of human history. Our progress, our memories, our very existence relies on the ceaseless, one-way march of time, powered by the sun's vast reserves of energy. Contemplate the cosmic challenge of intergalactic communication. Finally, stretch your imagination across the cosmos to consider contact with beings from another galaxy. With Rovelli as your guide, unravel the challenges posed by the vast distances and differing flows of time. Would we share the same moment, or are we forever out of sync, solitary travelers through the cosmos? By journey's end in this chapter, you'll have glimpsed the paradoxes and poetry of time as explained by a master physicist. You'll better understand how our universe ticks and, perhaps, feel a renewed wonder at the enigmatic force, time, that pervades our lives and our universe. Part 1. Unraveling the enigmatic dance between time and heat. When we first dip our toes into the waters of science, we quickly learn that relying solely on our senses might lead us to think the Earth is as flat as a pancake. The same sensory skepticism applies to our experience of time. We perceive it as a monotonously regular tick-tock, an unstoppable sequence similar across the universe. But that's not much more than an illusion. Consider this. If you were to take two precision-engineered clocks and set one on the ground floor and the other on a mountaintop, you'd witness something extraordinary. Time flows quicker at higher elevations, meaning the mountaintop clock would consistently race ahead of its ground-level counterpart. This is no mere thought experiment. It's a tangible phenomenon where altitude affects temporal passage. This differential isn't just limited to clocks. It encompasses all processes, from the aging of living beings to the growth of plants. Imagine two friends, twins, who part ways with one settling at sea level and the other in high-altitude serenity. When they reunite, they would find that the Highlander twin has aged ever so slightly more. This bewildering concept sounds like it's plucked from a sci-fi novel, but it lies at the heart of Einstein's theory of general relativity. The crux of it is this: time is experienced uniquely across different points in space. There isn't a single objective timeline that blankets the entire Earth uniformly. But don't stop there. When pondering the intricacies of time, we cannot ignore heat. It turns out that heat functions a lot like time. It has a preferred direction. Just as time flows from what we call the past towards the future, heat travels from the warmer body to the cooler one, never the reverse. You might be wondering, so what? Here's the catch. It's this one-way journey of heat that allows us to differentiate between past and future. This is because changes, the fundamental markers that separate yesterday from tomorrow, are actually the offspring of movement. And movement is, at its essence, heat transfer at the microscopic level. If molecules cease to move, wouldn't that halt time's arrow, blurring the lines between past, present, and future until they were indistinguishable? This dive into the interplay of time and heat might leave your head spinning as we hold a mirror up to the profound and the peculiar. It lays out a universe in which time dances to the tune of relativity, and the rhythm of heat transforms the music of our reality. Part 2. Einstein's revelations reshaped our understanding of now time, as it turns out, is a shapeshifter. As if its altitude-based variances weren't perplexing enough, time also morphs relative to speed. Enter Albert Einstein, whose early 20th century insights bridged the gap between time and velocity. Picture this. When you bolt down the track, time is leisurely ticking by for you compared to your stationary friend cheering on the sidelines. The faster you go, the slower you experience time. This interrelation of time and speed has profound implications for our daily conception of the present. The notion of now crumbles when you apply it to anything beyond our immediate surroundings. Consider a long-lost sister residing on the distant planet Proxima b. You reach for your telescope, longing for a glimpse of her current moment. What unfolds before your eyes is, in fact, a celestial history lesson. You're peering into her past from 4 years ago. But let's take a leap of imagination further. You try to calculate where she'll be 4 years into the future. Even then, you can't claim to be synchronized with Proxima b's now. By the time your predictions play out, she could have journeyed back to Earth, leaping ahead in our terrestrial timescales. Einstein's genius lies in debunking the once unassailable concept of an absolute present, universal for all observers regardless of location or motion, a belief that persisted from Newton's era. He forged a new understanding where space and time are inextricably linked, a tandem woven into the fabric of the universe. Thanks to Einstein, we now perceive space not as a mere container for the cosmos, but as a component of a complex geometry with time. This new paradigm invites us to envision the universe as an intricate tapestry of space-time, revealing a profound truth. The essence of now is not a universal constant, but a relative companion, shifting with our vantage point in this grand cosmic dance. Part 3. Quantum Mechanics and the Fresh Perspectives on the Nature of Space and Time. Our journey through the labyrinth of time has demonstrated that it's far from the steady stream we might imagine. Space, too, refuses to be sidelined, demanding recognition as a partner in the dance of existence. But to peel back the deeper layers of time, we wade into the quantum realm, where discoveries challenge our fundamental assumptions. Quantum mechanics, the study of the tiniest particles and forces, hands us a trio of revelations that shake the roots of time and space. This domain, where light and energy are bundled into quanta packets, has much to teach us. Our first revelation is granularity. Picture the world constructed of minuscule, discrete blocks, neither matter nor energy existing in a smooth continuum. Even time itself is not immune. It's composed of incredibly tiny segments. These portions, Planck time, defy our imagination. To glimpse their brevity, envision a 1 followed by 44 zeros in the denominator. Next, we confront indeterminacy, the confounding truth that the quantum world defies precise predictions. We can observe an electron now, but mere fractions of a second later we're left with probabilities rather than certainties. Such indeterminacy extends to time, as it too vacillates, jumbling the sequence of events, blurring the lines of before and after. Lastly, we come upon relationality. Just like the enigmatic electron, revealed only through its dance with other particles, time cannot be extricated and examined in isolation. It exists purely in relation. We comprehend it through the interconnected events that give it meaning. These quantum truths invite us to witness a world where the rock-solid constants of time and space are revelations, grains of existence, bound by indeterminacy and defined through relationships. This is the universe, not as a vast, undifferentiated expanse of time and space, but as an intricate, granular fabric woven by the quantum threads of reality. Part 4. From static things to dynamic events, redefining reality and time. Once, mighty pharaohs and regal monarchs believed in the enduring legacy of their dominion. Yet history is the great equalizer, an unceasing tide of transformation that has watched empires rise and fall. In the eyes of physics, this relentless change captures the essence of existence far more accurately than any notion of permanence. Picture not a universe of stagnant objects, but one teeming with action, vibrant with events rather than inert things. It's a vista where happenings and processes take center stage. Here, the reality is encapsulated not in the is, but in the happens, an ongoing symphony of occurrences in flux. Take, for instance, a stone, typically described as an object. Compared to a kiss, undeniably an event, the stone seems eternal. But if you shift your perspective, widen the lens to span epochs, even the stone is just a temporary assemblage of particles. Over unimaginable stretches of time, it too will yield to the winds of change, casting its thingness aside to join the realm of long drawn-out events. This understanding transforms our grasp of time itself. The here and now often reigns supreme in our evaluation of reality, but physics dissolves the primacy of presentism. Instead, it acknowledges the synchronization glitch, each point's unique temporal beat in this cosmic dance. If the pulse of time isn't a regimented march from past to future, we're compelled to view all moments across the temporal spectrum as equally valid. Enter eternalism, the philosophical cousin to physics' abandonment of a privileged now. It's under this banner that all points in time claim equal existence. Physics, adapting to this holistic reality, casts aside the notion of a universal time, variable. Fields like quantum gravity shift focus from time's tick-tock to the relative metamorphosis of particles and forces. By investigating the relational transformations rather than the chronological ones, scientists edge closer to revealing the interconnected, event-based fabric of our universe. Part 5. Perceiving time's flow as a construct of our observations. Reconciling the physicist's time with our own lived experience can leave us in a conceptual quagmire. Yet there's a lifeline in the theoretical framework of emergent phenomena, a way to see time as arising from our perception rather than existing as a cold external reality. Consider a playground scene. Children convening to create soccer teams through the simple flip of a coin. Before that toss, there were no teams, just a gathering of individuals. The teams, therefore, didn't exist somewhere in waiting. They emerged as a result of the game's setup. They are, in essence, an emergent phenomenon. This concept offers a parallel for understanding time. It doesn't sit out in the universe as a measurable entity, but emerges through our interactions with the environment. Our perception paints a picture of time progressing, a perception deeply intertwined with the concept of entropy. Entropy is a conceptual brush with which we paint our temporal landscape. If the universe remained static, the past, present, and future would merge into a single, indistinct tableau. Entropy introduces the strokes of change. It's the measure of order. The transition from a pristine show car to a rusted relic marks entropy's relentless march. To put it in textbook terms, it's the second law of thermodynamics asserting that entropy only grows, which underpins our sensation of time moving uniformly forward. However, it's crucial to entertain the idea that our understanding of time's arrow is a reflection of where we stand in the universe. From a different vantage point, time could tell another story entirely. Could it be that the increase in entropy doesn't inherently dictate time's flow, but merely illustrates the narrative we've constructed from our own piece of the cosmic puzzle? This intriguing possibility suggests that time, as we perceive it, may be as much a product of our observation as it is a fundamental trait of the universe. Part 6. The pivotal role of the sun in powering the spectacle of life and history. You might recall from the days of school textbooks that every action requires energy, and energy itself is indestructible, simply morphing from one form to another. Yet, we find ourselves in a perpetual quest for new energy sources. How does this conundrum fit into our understanding of the universe? The answer returns us to the terrain of entropy. Energy's utility stems not from its sheer presence but from its state of orderliness, its low entropy status, allowing for transformation into less ordered forms. Every shift on Earth, every event in the elaborate sequence of causes and effects, owes its genesis to rising entropy. Imagine entropy as the engine of change. Without its increase, time would stand still, rendering the continuum of history a thing of impossibility. But what fuels entropy on our little blue planet? The answer beams down from the skies. The sun. This celestial energy source pumps out photons packed with warmth which Earth collects. For every robust, hot photon that kisses our atmosphere, Earth radiates away 10 of a chillier sort. While this exchange might suggest an energy equilibrium, there's an entropy twist. One hot photon holds less entropy than its 10 cooler counterparts. Through this exchange, the sun donates a constant stream of low entropy energy to Earth, igniting the cascades of high entropy transformations. This process is the battery of Earth's endeavors, from igniting firewood to powering the awesome release of a dam's pent-up waters. Life, too, is an avid consumer of the sun's gift. The internal chemistry of our bodies, the beat of every heart, is a symphony conducted by solar energy, and it's photosynthesis that scripts the baseline, channeling the sun's prowess into the energy reserves within plants, the foundations of the food web that sustains animals and humankind alike. It is in such miraculous interplays that the sun takes its rightful place as the silent orchestrator of life's drama and the grand narrative of human history. Part 7. Time as perceived by us is a tapestry woven by the mind. Having traversed the complex landscapes of time from the vantage point of physics, we circle back to the intimate human experience of time. This perplexing personal encounter with time defies objective measures, yet its pulse is essential to the human saga. Where does this leave us? It points to an origin that lies within the cognitive realm, Our perception of time is a brain-born phenomenon, intrinsic to our very identity. At the heart of our temporal understanding are three pillars that scaffold our perception of the world. The first is perspective, our unique vantage point, the lens through which we process and interpret the plethora of information that floods our senses. This perspective provides a cognitive canvas where we paint our subjective reality. Next, consider our instinct to simplify, to dissect the world into comprehensible fragments. Take, for instance, the rocky giant, Mont Blanc. We encapsulate a multitude of sensory and geological details within that label, just as we mentally sculpt the concept of human from a symphony of biological processes. It is such mental shorthand that helps us navigate and interact with the world, coloring our experiences with meaning. Finally, there's the monumental role of memory, not a jumbled archive but a meticulously structured collection, a chronology of experiences that weaves the fabric of our personal history. Our lives emerge not just as a sequence of events, but as a narrative, a story arc where the past, present, and future are bridged by the underpinnings of memory and anticipation. Time, as we experience it, is thus a construct, a psychological phenomenon born from the methodical logging of our experiences and our interactions with the world around us. It anchors us, defines us, and endows us with our distinct place within the species. Time, in its most personal form, isn't simply passing moments. It's the cornerstone of our collective human essence. Final summary. In our final reflection, we grasp that time, as we experience it in our day-to-day lives, doesn't hold up under the microscope of modern physics. The idea of time ticking away uniformly like a clock is a mirage. It's a variable that depends on our location, our speed, and even the gravity we experience. Venture out into the cosmos, measuring in light years, and the notion of a shared present falls apart. This leap into the realm of relativity and quantum mechanics may seem to unravel the familiar fabric of time, but our customary perception of time still possesses profound value. It's this very sense of chronology, of past, present, and future strung together like pearls on a necklace, that contributes to the essence of being human. Our memories, our narratives, and our anticipation of what's to come are all knitted together by this personal experience of time. Indeed, it's this human chronicle, this continuous thread of time, that distinguishes our existence and connects us in a shared dance of life, history, and identity. In the dance of the universe, our perception of time is not just an illusion, but a defining characteristic of our collective journey through existence. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.